Hello there, welcome to the news on Nepal television. I am Rosina Rai, starting with the headlines first. UN Secretary General Guterres wraps up his 4-day official visit to Nepal, draws world's attention on Nepal's melting glaciers. Rapidly intensifying storm Karen expected to batter northwest Europe. A storm with violent winds expected to cause heavy rainfall and flooding. Israel's military pounds northern Gaza with jets attack, says the string killed a senior Hamas commander and collapse of Hamas underground infrastructures. And world number 1 Arena Sabalanka bears a defeat by Jessica Pegula in second match. Pegula remains only unbeaten player now through to semi-finals. Welcome back. Now we have the news in detail. United Nations UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has returned to New York, wrapping up his 4-day official visit to Nepal. Deputy Prime Minister and Defence Minister Purna Bahadur Kharka bid farewell to the UN chief at the Tribhuvan International Airport in Kathmandu this morning. On the occasion, high-ranking officials of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and representatives of the United Nations Office in Nepal were present. A contingent of Nepal Army offered the guard of honor to Guterres to his farewell. The UN's top diplomat visited Nepal at the invitation of Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal. During his stay in Nepal, the UN chief visited Everest region, Annapurna Base Camp and Pokhara, and closely observed how the rising temperature is melting Himalayan glaciers. Guterres also interacted with the locals there to know about how they feel about these visible climate change conditions. He then urged the international community to act immediately to reduce the impact of climate change and to compensate Nepal for the loss of ice due to global warming, the condition for which Nepal is directly involved in. Also, the UN Secretary General gave a message of peace to the world after his visit to Lumbini, the birthplace of Gautam Buddha. He later addressed the joint meeting of Federal Parliament and lauded Nepal as a dedicated promoter of peace and a stalwart of multilateralism. During this his stay in Nepal, he held meetings to Nepal's top leadership, including the President, Prime Minister, House Speaker, National Assembly Chairperson, and Deputy Prime Ministers, where he lobbied for early completion of the peace process in Nepal. The remaining task of the peace processes of Nepal must be completed soon, as praised by the UN chief during his various meetings with Nepal's political leadership. Justice to the conflict period victims and must be done through transitional justice mechanism, said Guterres. His visit has been taken as a highly important diplomatic incident. Now to the further development. Minister for Foreign Affairs Narayan Prakash Saud, who is on an official visit to the United States of America, held a meeting with the Chief Executive Officer, CEO of the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, Scott Nathan, on Tuesday. On the occasion, they discussed the matters related to corporations' investment in Nepal. It is said Minister Saud, highlighting government strategies for the promotion of private sector's investment in Nepal, had urged CEO Nathan for increasing investment flow to Nepal through the corporation. Corporation Chief Nathan had shared his perspective on the increment of corporations' investment for economic development of Nepal and its potential areas. The corporation is the part of the U.S. government now has invested US $36 billion, 450 million in 110 countries. Besides, the corporation has been mobilizing financial instrument for the development of private sector through capital investment. Meanwhile, the meeting between Foreign Minister N.P. South and Administrator of the United States Agency for International Development Samantha Power was held. During the meet, the issues of USAID's program, which is currently being carried out under the priority of development of Nepal, and its effectiveness was discussed. Administrators of the U.S. Agency Samantha Power also expressed the commitment from the U.S. government side for the prosperity of a democratic process in Nepal and establish strengthening bilateral relationship between Nepal and U.S. In the meeting held at a central office of USAID in Washington, D.C., Foreign Minister South expressed the gratitude for the relentless assistance since decades for the development of social and economic sector of Nepal. We shall get back with more details ahead. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're on Nepal Television News. Now we have remaining updates. Now we are moving on to weather update for the day. Now Nepal has witnessed a partial impact of westerly wind. According to the Weather Forecast Division, the mountainous areas of the country, including the Kosi province, will see partial changes in the weather, and remaining provinces will have a general weather. Meteorologist Saroj Praseni shared that light rain with a thunderstorm and lightning is likely to occur to take place and in one or two places of mountainous belt having partial changes in the weather across the country today. He further informed that snowfall is predicted in one or two areas of the high mountainous and hilly territory of the country. Now Kathmandu's wind temperature is measured of 17 degrees Celsius, the division said. Kathmandu has a maximum temperature in between 25 to 27 degrees Celsius. Likewise, the country will see partial changes in the weather in the night, the division said. The locals of Humla district, which is yet to be connected with the national road connection, are forced to suffer as the private airlines in the district have been distributing air tickets at their will. Locals traveling out of a district to their working place after the Dasai celebration are forced to make a stay in hotel for days where they have to be extra economic expenses waiting for the flight tickets. Following this, the locals in the district expresses their dissatisfaction over the unsystematic, more of that arbitrary distribution of flight tickets of Sita Air during its second flight yesterday. They also lament people with power and connection only could access the tickets, while officials of airlines have already sent the tickets a week before at Simcoe Airport, and they are hopeless of getting tickets on time. The haphazard situation has been occurred in the district after Sita, Tara and Summit Airlines stalled the regular flights as per the agreement they have made before to take flights from Surkhet and Nepal-Ganj regular base. Airlines are not acting as per the agreement to take regular flights has directly affected students, district outbound employee and sick persons in the district there. Now we are moving on to international headliners. A rapidly intensifying storm is expected to batter northwest Europe on Wednesday and Thursday, unleashing severe winds, large waves at the coast, heavy rainfall and flooding. The UK Met Office system Clarion, and it is expected to hit Britain and France particularly hard, while in its southern fringe also will affect Spain, Portugal and other parts of the southern and central Europe. In northern Italy, the storm brought heavy rain and violent winds and sent rapid floods through central Milan and caused Lake Como to breach its bank. Several west side bars were flooded at the lake, a popular tourist attraction, while civil protection authorities were forced to pump out water from areas nearby and erect mobile barriers. Meanwhile, while the Claran storm due to heat of France on Wednesday is expected to be accompanied by gust winds up to the 150 km per hour. According to meteorologists, Storm Ciarán is caused by a jet stream and will cross the Atlantic in 24 hours. Before we move on to further details, stay with us. Time for a short break. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now we have remaining international headliners. Israel's military has confirmed that its jets carried out an attack in the Jabalia area of northern Gaza on Tuesday. The IDF says the strike killed a senior Hamas commander and caused the collapse of Hamas's underground infrastructure. The Hamas-run health ministry and the hospital director say at least 50 people were killed. Pictures from the scene show craters and leveled buildings. Gaza's southern border at Rafah may open as early as today to allow some of the most seriously wounded Palestinians to get treatment in Egypt. Israel has been bombing Gaza since the 7 October Hamas attacks that killed 1,400 people and saw at least 239 people kidnapped as hostages. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says more than 8,500 people have been killed since Israel's retaliatory bombing began. Bolivia has cut official ties with Israel over the war in Gaza as two other Latin American countries recalled their ambassadors in Tel Aviv for consultations. Bolivia decided to break diplomatic relations with the Israeli state in repudiation and condemnation of the aggressive and disproportionate Israeli military offensive taken place in the Gaza Strip. Deputy Foreign Minister Fredy Mamani said at a press conference on Tuesday night. Minister of the Presidency Maria Nela Pada also announced the country would send humanitarian aid to Gaza. Neighbors Colombia and Chile also recalled their ambassadors for consultations. Now to the more updates. Before that, let's have a quick look into the highlights of the site. China's program to process marine plastic waste, based on collaboration between more than 6,000 individuals and over 200 enterprises from the eastern province of Zhejiang, won the 2023 Earth Award on Monday. The award, the UN's most prestigious environmental recognition, commends the effectiveness of the program. The program, called Blue Circle, incorporates digital technologies such as the Internet of Things and blockchain, and traces the recycling and remanufacturing process of marine plastics. It benefits participating fishermen while effectively cuts down pollution in coastal waters. According to the United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, the award recognizes pioneering leaders from government, civil society, academia, and the private sector for their transformative impact on the natural world. The Blue Circle program stood out from around 2,500 nominations for the award. We are now moving on to sports. Jessica Pegula upset world number 1 Arena Sabalenka 6-4, 6-3 to win her second group stage match at the WTA Finals in Cancun on Tuesday and will advance to semi-Thursday. With this, we come to the end of this news bulletin, but before we say goodbye, quick reminders of the headlines once again. UN Secretary General Guterres wraps up his 4-day official visit to Nepal, draws world's attention on Nepal's melting glaciers. Rapidly intensifying storm Karen expected to batter northwest Europe. Storm with violent winds expected to cause heavy rainfall and flooding. Israel's military pumps northern Gaza with jet attacks, says the strike killed a senior Hamas commander and collapsed over Hamas's underground infrastructures. And world #1 Arena Sabalenka bears defeat by Jessica Pegula. In second match, Pegula remains only unbeaten player now through to semi-finals. Well, this is all we have for this moment. Until our next bulletin, have a good day ahead. Namaste.